Hi guys, it's Liberty from Silky Presets with the first of hopefully many Lightroom tutorial videos. Today I wanted to focus on getting bright, beautiful color out of images that might be a little more faded or subdued. I'm going to use a combination of presets, adjustments, and brushes for these 3 edits, and hopefully I can do 3 in 10 minutes because that's what I promised you. So let's get started. Alright, here's our first image, and the first thing I want to do with this is do a little crop and straighten. Perfect. And then for this particular image, I'm going to go with Curry from Spice. So it really packs a punch of warmth and color. But it's a little bit too warm, I think, for a winter image, so I'm going to go to my Adjustment Kit 1 Basics and just pick Temperature as Shot. So it'll bring us down a little bit, but still maintaining that nice warm color. The next thing, I'm going to go to Brushes and I'm going to pick Define Edges, which is one of my favorite brushes. It's great for when you want to set your subject apart from the background. As you can see, it is brightening them up quite a bit. A little bit more than I'd like, so I'm going to fix that in a second. But I'm just going to kind of feather this out. Alright, as you can see, that added a really nice contrast, but it's a little too bright, so I'm just going to go to the exposure slider and drag it down just a hair. And I like how that looks now. Here's the before and after on that. Next, I want to take the highlights down on that sleeve just a little bit. It's a very small thing, but it's kind of grabbing my eye, so I'm going to select Highlights Down from my brushes and just run it over that area. It's really subtle change, but it's kind of nice. Next, I noticed that her hands are a little bit red, so I'm going to go to Skin Less Red. Shrink my brush a little bit. Run that over her hands. When you're using these brushes, sometimes you almost can't see the change unless you take it away and then bring it back. But that's really helped, I think. So we're not really noticing the red so much. And then the last trick I want to show you with this particular photo and the brushes is, you might be surprised, I'm going to use Best Ever Tooth Whitener on the snow here. It's just a little trick I figured out this winter, and it kind of de-emphasizes these holes in the snow. And I'm actually going to just enhance that a little bit more by dragging the saturation slider down a little bit more, and I'm going to lift the shadows up a bit. So that way we're not really noticing the footsteps as much. And then the last thing I want to do is we have this branch coming out of her head, which is driving me crazy. So I'm going to go to the Spot Healing brush, I guess you could say. And I'm just going to take this and drag it right down the area I want to get rid of. And then I can select the area I want to heal with. Something like that should work. And this one over here is bugging me a little bit too, so I'm going to take that out. And same thing there. And then this one. Alright, and that's one down. So here's our before and after. As you can see, it's added a lot of bright contrast and color that makes our subject pop off the background. So that's one. Here's our second image, and for this I'm going to use the Shine collection, and I'm going to use Booster Shot, which is by far our #1 best-selling preset, and with good reason. It's pretty fabulous on anything that's kind of darker and maybe more faded. It really brings warmth and color to just about anything. I love it. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'm actually going to go to the finishing touches from the adjustment kits, and I'm going to add Warm Light top left. Kind of a subtle touch, but I think it warms it up nicely. Then while I'm there, I'm going to also add a vignette, just a gentle vignette from Finishing Touches. Next, I'm going to go to the brushes and select one of the, I think the very first brush here, Spot Detail Enhancer. And this is kind of like Define Edges, but it's more for when you want to darken as well as, you know, bring out the contrast in something. So I'm just going to use that to kind of set them apart from the background a little bit, which is always a good first step. So next, I'm going to enhance the colors here a little bit because there's still, you know, I want to push it a little bit further. So I'm going to make a new brush and add and enhance grain. I really love these add and enhance color brushes. I just think they're so much fun. And the nice thing is they don't layer on a bunch of unnaturally looking color. They kind of work with what's already there, and then they do add a little bit in addition, so they're just a lot of fun. I like how that looks, and then I'm going to also use the Add and Enhance Red brush to bring out this foliage here. So I like that, and then finally for kind of middle tone, I'm going to add and enhance yellow. Just like that. Alright, so I like that, but I think this foliage in the background is kind of contrasty, and I feel like it's competing a little bit with our subjects. So I'm going to go back to brushes, and I'm going to go Add Bright Matte. And this doesn't actually soften, so you're not losing any clarity or anything, but it does add this sort of soft matte look that's going to keep it from competing too much with our subjects. And I'm being a little sloppy with the brushwork, but you can go back and hit erase here and see I got some on his neck and a bit on his shoulder. You can take that out. So that's looking much better, I think. And then finally, I'm just going to do one more additional spot detail enhancer on his head here, because I think it's still looking a little washed out, and on her hair. And that is it for that image. So here's our before and after, and as you can see, it's really popping now. And that brings us to our third and final image. I have about 2 minutes left, so this is going to be a quick one. I'm just going to go to Booster Shot again because it's my go-to and it's pretty fabulous here. So then I'm going to use the Spot Detail Enhancer to bring out the detail in her face because we're kind of losing it a little bit. And I'll zoom in a little bit and just erase that off of any lines that I don't want to emphasize. And I notice while I'm here that her lips are looking a little cold and a little pale, so I'm going to use Lip Color Apple from the brushes. It's my favorite lip color. And it'll just add a little bit of warmth and vibrancy to her lips so that her smile will stand out. Alright, next I'm going to just add and enhance red on this background, so we can really make it dramatic. And this is of course all a matter of taste, but I think it's fun to see just how far you can push and edit. And I love really bringing out the colors. Alright, so that's really nice and vibrant, and I like it. And the final step, I'm going to use the plugin, the fader, which I recently covered in a blog article. It's really fun and I recommend it. And I'm going to select Special Effects to Nature Effects as my folder, and I'm going to pick the Sunburst Bright Left, which as you can see at 100% is pretty intense, but I'm going to Just lower that until I feel like it looks a little more natural. Right around there, I think. 75% or so. And that's that complete edit. It's pretty quick, just about 2 minutes. And it's a pretty dramatic difference from what we started with. Well, so that's it for this video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And if you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see in future videos, please feel free to email me at liberty@silkypresets.com and let me know what you'd like to see. Alright, have a great day.